Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well and welcome. The good guys at Thrustmaster have very generously asked us to commentate the latest DCS F-16 competition, which is going to be great. I've got my friend Bear here. Hello Bear.
Hi Cap.
Bear, before these guys take off, please explain the competition structure and the rules.
It's called the Viper Sky War, and it's a 2v2 BVR competition that is an initiative of Thrustmaster. They are promoting their new F-16 throttle. The aim of the competition is a 2v2 F-16 only BVR battle, with the F-16s only allowed a maximum of 4 Fox 3s and 2 Fox 2s. They're not allowed to take any 9Xs, no smoke, no air to ground. They take off from separate bases approximately 150 miles away, and they meet in a combat zone in the middle. The last person to survive the last team to survive must survive for 20 seconds, and that round is theirs. It's a best of 3 competition. We're in a straight elimination. It's a quarterfinal at the moment. 8 lucky teams have been invited to partake in this competition. We have Tor, Lock on Grease, No Escape Zone, TMC, GRC, Toro, JTFF, and Nemesis Hall. These 8 teams are playing in a straight elimination quarterfinals. Next week, Saturday, will be the semi-finals, and next week, Sunday, the finals.
Thank you. And today's first battle, Tor, the Art of Warfare, well-established group versus another well-established group. We have Lock on Grease. Stand by for battle. One thing I picked up on is no aim 9X. Do we have a reason for that?
That was the rules of the competition that Thrustmaster came up with. I believe they think they are too overpowered, and I suppose it doesn't promote close dogfighting and an exciting finish. In other competitions, I think they don't use the 9X because it creates an imbalance, but we stick with the rules, and it's their party today.
Roger. Okay, so the fighting dome is 100 nautical miles across, and both sides are entering it now. We have Doc and Raccoon at 37,000 feet, and we have Tor, Red Core 6 at 35,000 feet, and Blaze at 34,000 feet. Everyone's going to enter together.
The combat zone doesn't shrink. It is a fixed size combat zone. It's one of those you can enter, you can exit, but if you exit, you cannot come back in. You will explode if you come back in.
Roger. Contested fight is on. Right, here we go.
So Lock on Grease looks like they're sporting 4 Fox 2, Fox 3 Charlies and 2 M9 Mikes. They're also running with 2 wing bags, no center line.
Hello. Bags or for Grease?
Who are opting for a side-by-side split at a good altitude, whereby the Greeks are 3,000 to 4,000 foot higher, 41.
Roger, is there any benefit of that?
There's definitely some benefit. You would use a little bit less gas. You could get your missile up for a higher loft to travel a little bit further.
Missile out from Raccoon, long shot, nearly 50 miles. And Doc also firing AIM-120C. Do we have a response from Tor? Yes, we do. Lofting shots in. So, 4 missiles in the air, and Grease fired first and slightly higher.
This is played on the latest open beta, and in the last update for 2.9, we've got some interesting radar improvements. Or changes at least, so there's greater range for the aircraft, the F-16s.
In case you're new to this, viewers, obviously you can see the aircraft, you can see its direction, you can see its coalition, you can see its name, its aircraft type, and thousands of feet altitude just below it. But the red missiles are getting towards the blues quicker, and obviously because they fired first. Raccoon cold, Doc was notching, Blaze notching, Red notching, but is it enough? It's dangerously close, and I can't see him. Can you see him? just beat it kinematically. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Skin of his friggin' teeth.
Within inches, yes.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely notch there from Red Core 6. Leader of this flight, I believe.
Roger. Blaze has been, I think he's beaten his. It's, yep, just about beating it. Speed, 400 knots. Yep, everyone's beaten their missiles. Although Red's was a little bit close. I think Raccoon went fully cold, so he definitely beat his. Right, let's see what altitude they've managed to stay at. So Doc and Raccoon have both stayed over 20,000 feet, but Red and Blaze have had to ditch their altitude down to 5 and 13,000 feet. Distance between fronts now 20 miles, and missile out from Doc, who's fully offensive.
Yeah, Doc taking a cross shot over to the north where Red is quite low on the ground. Cap, what I did forget to mention is both teams have an AWACS. The AWACSs are orbiting at 35,000, so the picture should be fairly good for both teams.
17 miles between fronts. Note how the two Reds have closed up while the Blues stay separated. This missile's at 900 knots and still tracking, I think. Yes, it is. Red's got another difficult missile at 700 knots.
That altitude advantage that Lock on Grease have over Tor at the moment is nice for them. There's a missile out from Raccoon
12 miles.
toward Blaze. 12
That's a
miles.
good missile.
High to low.
Yep, shot from 35,000 feet. That's a kill missile.
And immediately going into a crank. Blaze returns the favor. Low to high.
Stand by. Yeah, which is, well, equally as effective, really. So Blaze, Blaze, I think he's outrun it. Now, Raccoon, I think, is going to outrun his. Good play so far. Everyone doing what they need to do to nullify the shots. We've now got Doc firing at Red at 12 miles. That is medium to low. Also, Blaze has a good chance of getting a cheeky shot in here. Let's see if he can. Red is notching this missile, and I see someone just fired when I went into isometric. Yep, now that is a really good shot and must be a kill shot, surely. That felt like about 7 miles.
Blaze on Doc.
Blaze on Doc. Go up to blow up, as Simba says. Amazing dodge, look at that. But they've really got the initiative. The Blues, I don't know. Because the Reds have been setting up a chainsaw, as you can see. Raccoon's just coming back in to cover him. So amazing dodging from Doc there. Yeah. That was real close.
Both teams are probably down to their last AMRAM, so it's going to start changing into Bear's favourite territory, which is the Fox 2s. We've got to love those Fox 2s.
Right.
I think Raccoon just fired off his last... No, correction, he still has one.
That's a 1,700 knot missile coming in for the Blues here. That is a very... Well, that's an impossible thing to dodge, surely. No, he's notched it. Well done. Really amazing flying going on here.
Absolutely excellent. Doc is in trouble. Splash.
Shot. Well done. Yeah, things just closed up too much. You're firing at each other at 5 miles now. Dodging an AMRAM at 5 miles is near on impossible. So, false shot there. I don't know what happened there. But now we're almost in for a dogfight. A duff shot.
Raccoon.
That was a duff shot. Or was it?
Didn't get the luck.
He did. Straight down on his face.
Splash.
Wow. That was unexpected. But now we have absolute Rowenge.
Okay, so Splash. Red Core 6 has managed to kill the last pilot, who was a Raccoon. It was very, very, very close. Raccoon obviously out of AMRAMs at that stage, where Red Core 6 had 2. He remains with... he's flying back with his 2 Fox 2s. In this game cup, RTB is not required. The players are not required to fly back to base. They do need to survive for at least 20 seconds after the last person has died. The message in the game is the Blues win the round, the Blues being Tor. What a lovely game that was. Started off a little bit slow, a little bit of posturing from both teams. Round 2 is about to begin. The competition scene has never been as big as it is today. There are just countless teams with it all oozing talent all over the show. It's anybody's game in the 8 teams that were lucky enough to be in this competition. Any one of them, any one of the teams has the opportunity to win this. Three wins and you're in the prizes. There are lovely prizes sponsored by Thrustmaster, but I believe Thrustmaster will be telling the pilots what they are.
Roger. Right. Lock-on grease are airborne.
No change in the loadouts from either of the teams. I guess pretty much going to be the major one. The interesting thing is one side Torch opting to take 3 bags, and the other side not taking a center line.
I'm surprised with such a small distance.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's pilot option. Not taking the center line would make it slightly more streamlined without having the center line pylons, and especially with no RTB. Could be a choice to take just the wings and drop them, or just the center line and drop them. You could even get away with no bags.
Do you think fuel? I know when you do big SATEL matches where you have kind of 6 guys versus 6 guys, they go on for ages, and fuel is debatably one of the most important factors. Fuel probably not a factor in 2v2. What do you think?
With these short maps, I don't think fuel is going to be a major factor. But it depends on the pilot. They need to always be aware of their fuel. If you're at burner on the deck, you don't have very much more than 5 minutes. In terms of long games, I don't see them being very, very long and drawn out. Certainly not as
lost
much
someone.
as the 6v6s. It did look like we Doc from Lock-on Grease. Is that a disconnect, unfortunately?
Yeah, it is. Viewers, you know when you have one of those days where nothing works? That's today. Right, Raccoon, I'm afraid, is on his own. What's the rules now?
That's tragic. Unfortunately, as far as I know, he cannot rejoin.
Oh, so sad.
He would need... I know that there's 5 minutes to get into the zone, and I don't believe that he'll be able to come back within 5 minutes. Oh, how tragic that is for the Greeks. That's so sad. And I mean, Tor, they're a great bunch of guys. I mean, they want to fight against 2 players, not this. But Raccoon he's aware of it. Obviously, he's lost his wingman, so he's got to make a choice. So he's opting to go for Blaze, the closer of the 2. Maybe he's lucky with that turn, but with Red Core having got the missile out early, I apologize. I didn't even see Raccoon's missile. Raccoon needs to find Blaze. He needs to find Blaze, and he needs to make sure that he's got that missile from... I think he's going to be fine. There you go. He got the missile out. Hopefully that missile has time to go Pitbull. And Raccoon, you've got to be very careful with your missile shots now.
Oh, I missed it, but that was... Whatever happened was close there. Oh, look, it exploded right behind him. So it fused. It fused, but he didn't die.
Yeah, that's a hit and a kill.
It can happen. Yeah, that is very unlucky. That is very unlucky.
Massively.
It can do that in a dive, in a really fast dive, viewers. It can sometimes fuse and not destroy the guy. How realistic it is, I have no idea, but it's a thing. Right, well, it's already done a lot better than I could do against 2 guys. So, well done. But, I mean... Absolutely.
So, Raccoon...
20 miles out, and they are... Look how they're coming in from different angles now. They are going to squeeze him so bad. Got a feel for the underdog, viewers. Managed to get a missile out.
Definitely.
And if nothing else, he's only got half the amount of missiles as the Reds. He
does, and we're at a deficit. The most common loadout is 6 Fox 3s. The fact that we're down to 4 is definitely, it does make it spicy and interesting.
Roger. So good missile. No, Blaze is going to beat that speed. 1200 knots, 1100 knots. But now Raccoon's had to turn his back to dodge that missile, which means Red is gonna be uncontested. Basically, he can charge straight in at Mach 2 and destroy him.
Snick 500 radio says he feels sorry for you because you can't say push the button and get another one.
Hey, we can't. We have to play by the damn rules.
Yeah, it's... Oh,
he managed to get a missile out. Well done. Look at that. That's good play.
Absolutely. I think Raccoon man of the match, regardless of how this goes.
He's fighting off 2 bears. but those bears have bigger claws.
That's true. That's true. Ah.
He's also essentially having to do a lot more BFM, a lot more maneuvers, so he's going to be burning fuel down quicker as well. That's a good shot. Come on. Let's see. That is 800, 700 knots. No, beaten. Well beaten. Great dodging by everyone. I don't suppose his friends got back in. No, that's such a shame, isn't it? Such a shame. The problem is now, Bear, he's out of missiles, or out of medium-range missiles, so he no longer has any way to defend himself, apart from Shorad, which he won't get a chance to fire.
That's right. Yeah, Raccoon, you need to now play the fuel game, and you need to rush off into those mountains and hide.
Try and force
Be
a dogfight,
the Raccoon. Pull your inner Raccoon and hide in the forest.
But he's stuck out to sea. There's nothing he can do. He's stuck out to sea.
Okay, so he's going to take them head on. That's our man.
Go on. Go out swinging. Always go out swinging.
Now, he's on the deck. If he was a little higher, he could pull off a 10 mile or
10
so.
10 miles, yeah.
Fox 2, head on. Take it. Come on, Raccoon.
No, he's been forced cold, and that's, unfortunately, it's got no initiative left. He's done another superb dodge, though.
Yes, indeed.
Can something happen? Can something happen? No, that's a kill shot. That is that's a 5 mile AMRAAM, 4 mile AMRAAM with huge energy. Nothing you can do to beat that. Pop. Oh,
my
it didn't fuse. That's twice it's happened. Yeah. It's probably so stunned that he didn't die from that previous one. It's happened twice now. I've never really seen that happen before. But there you go. That is nothing Blue could have done about that. They lost their man due to lag, and that is esports, I'm afraid. It's just a thing. It's a shame we couldn't get in. So that is Tor through, isn't it?
Tor go through to the semi-finals. They'll be playing next week, Saturday, in the first semi-final against we don't know who. But don't go anywhere, everybody. We've got another match coming up fairly shortly. It will be No Escape Zone, the French team, versus TMC, the Motley Crew.
So we have Phoenix and Raven 96 for NOEZ. Some rather dashing liveries there. Now, interestingly, these guys have different liveries on the same team.
Rather interesting. The other thing that's also changed, Cap, is the map. It's still Caucasus, but it's Baziani to Koboleti.
Roger. Who decides that, or is it just a dice roll?
It is a dice roll, and that dice roll is by Thrustmaster. They've controlled the rules, they've controlled the scripts, they've controlled the servers, they've controlled the maps. There's an option of 3 that they pull out of a hat. I believe that the finals is flown on a new map completely.
Roger. I do like the TMC liveries. I think they're pretty sweet. A question for you: Do you think there's any advantage? In having a particular type of livery? Like, if you could have one that, do you reckon it would ever be good enough that you could actually aid camouflage, or do you think it's irrelevant, at least in DCS?
Cap, there's different teams have different trains of thought whereby we do have high visibility liveries, so that we can IFF our teammates quicker, and for that reason we don't actually share our skins. In terms of camouflage and that, there are some amazing skins out there that when they fly against the clouds or the mountains in winter, you can't see them, and other camouflage skins where you fly across the ground on the Nevada desert and they just can't be seen. There's the new spotting now in 2.9, which is it's an interesting feature that
Can you explain that? We've got a while until they apply. Can you explain that? Because I haven't actually noticed any difference. Then again, I'm a bit stupid.
So my understanding is that they're trying to make it fair that different resolutions that players fly on render the pixels at different sizes, and they're trying to balance it so that everybody experiences the same sort of thing. And
gotcha.
It's going to be trial and error to get it right, and I think it's going to take some time, but they're actively working on it. There's I know a lot of people are raving about how good it is, and there's others that they don't share as much an enthusiasm. I know the Warbirds like it particularly. I am neutral.
60 miles between pairs now, and still got that weird blue formation I've not seen. Kind of doing like an offset initial crank together in the same direction. I've never seen that before.
With an altitude difference of what, 5,000 foot, 6,000 foot. Nice. Nice to see something different.
Roger. Mega aggression from Kingston as usual. Maximum speed. 43,000 feet, going for maximum boom boom. I know what might happen, Bear. Maybe they're cranking because it means that the Reds can't get that initial far shot, that 50-mile first shot. Maybe. I don't know.
If they're close enough, maybe with the res selling, it could cause a little bit of issues with the trying to lock them up. But expanding your FCR should be able to pick them up. They're not close enough for that. They've turned in, they're cranked in. So we would call this their right side heavy for TMC side. If Kingston's lucky, he could get a TWS shot out on both of them.
Yeah.
Now with Dobber cranking towards Kingston, okay, Kingston moving towards Dobber is a good move. So they're going to probably cross or shackle,
Roger.
Which is good. Missiles out from both sides.
Roger. Kingston straight into a crank. Straight into a notch, but staying high. Anyone's gone low. Dobber's notching, but also staying high. Let's see what the Blues do. Nothing as so far. A mild crank from Raven, but that's not going to beat an AMRAAM. Let's see. Now they've finally got the
first
warning.
missile is still tracking, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
It's still tracking Raven. Still tracking Raven.
Didn't do enough to beat it. Didn't do enough to beat it.
Boom.
Yeah, I just saw him doing a mild crank, and I was like, that's not going to beat a missile. Right, how odd.
Okay, the long bomb wins again. Lovely shot from Mal. If you don't react immediately, you're going to be in trouble. That's for sure.
Right. I mean, when you're dodging these missiles, you have to dodge before they give you a warning, don't you? Before they go pitfall, because otherwise you've got no hope. Especially at 40,000 feet.
The first sign of a warning is you have to react immediately. Before is even better for sure.
Right. Well, it's 2v1. I don't rate his chances.
TMC a really, really good start for them. Phoenix has got a lot of work cut out for himself now. He's got to choose between the two. And
they're too spread for Twiz, aren't they?
Exactly. And that's what TMC would want to do, is keep space between them, so it forces Phoenix to commit to one of them, be it Kingston or be it Dobber. There, Dobber's got a shot off on him. He's still high though. That's good from all of them are high. There, people being at 30,000 plus at this stage, and
I do find it funny as well.
It's middle game, and it's I relate a lot of BVR fighting to chess in the sense of you have your opening and you have your middle game and then your end game, and middle game. It's wonderful that more and more teams are maintaining altitude at this stage. It's somewhat new.
Maybe it's because in the 2v2 there's just less threats in the air, less sticks in the air. I don't know.
You've got a point there, Cap. That is definitely a thing. So Phoenix now reacting as soon as he got that warning from Dobber's missile. I think he's safe. I believe he's safe. Yes, that movement, that turn. Now he's decided to go to a notch. That can be fatal sometimes. But
just beating it, I reckon.
That is wow.
Something
about BVR fighting is you've got to commit to your choices and that, or you've got to have, as the Italians say, a fat ass, which means you're lucky. And Phoenix certainly does. Wow, the change of his mind from cold to notch. Another missile out, 2 missiles from Dobber. He's
that's the
like
kill
Oprah
shot.
today. You have one, and you have one, and everybody can have one.
Yeah.
Now, where's Kingston? Has he gone sleeping?
apparently so. I don't know why. I don't know why.
All right, there he is from the south.
I think it's going to beat those missiles for what it's worth. Ah, yes, Kingston's finally popping in for a fight. But amazingly, Fenix managed to bat them off so far.
Lovely, absolutely lovely.
Dodging down here is going to be so... Oh, no, he's dodged, but straight into a Kingston missile. Whoosh! Smacky boom boom!
Splash!
Well, can Kingston beat this? He's won the match, but... Go on, Kingston! Go on, Kingston! No!
Oh, dear.
Never mind.
And the trade. Okay, so... it finishes off with 1-0. Dobber is still alive, and he will make the 20 seconds to win the round. Good on Phoenix for coming back at that. Kingston fell asleep after firing that last missile. He should have, as soon as it's pitbull, get out of there.
Yeah, I can relate though, because when you know, I'm not a competition player or anything, but when you know that you're going to win one way or another, you just kind of you tend to do silly things. Whereas if there was two guys, you would be super careful because, you know. But, yep, you should maintain discipline at all times. Right, win for TMC, viewers, for round one.
First round, round one. Second round coming up. Will No Escape Zone have what it takes to come back and draw the match? Well, not draw the match, but draw the score to go into a third round.
We've got an interesting... we'll be flying tomorrow. Not me, but the boys will. From Reaper's voice. We've got an interesting livery this time around. I had a quick look at it. It's a bright one, isn't it, Bear?
It is indeed. It is.
No hiding for us.
Oh, absolutely not. But that's why we're the only ones that have it. There's the roll.
We're off. Deliberate stagger from TMC.
Yes, they both started to roll at the same time, and then there was a little bit of a pitch, but it does look like it was a delayed start.
I noticed in the SATAL, the bigger SATAL matches where you've got 4 versus 4, 6 versus 6, there's a lot more geographic tactics going on with sides, kind of almost sumo wrestler style, pushing each other towards the edge of the circle and threatening to push them out. But that can't really happen with these 2 versus 2. There's just not enough aircraft in for that kind of thing to happen.
Not at all. Definitely when with the more people you have the ability to create or to push to gain territory or to retreat to defend against your space. But with the 2v2s, there's just so much space to fly around.
Another thing to consider is everything being F-16s. F-16, as great as it is, debatably the best air-to-air, is limited because maximum of 6 missiles, which means there can only ever be, 6 exchanges, really. Whereas if you get something like a Hornet, it can carry, 10, 12 missiles? I forget now. Where you can have loads of exchange, almost twice the amount of exchanges, and therefore twice the game time. So that's, I guess, another reason why the games are quite short.
Remember, Cap, it's maximum of 4 Fox 3s per aircraft.
Right, so it's really 4 exchanges and then a dogfight then.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they aimed for. They didn't want a long drawn out match.
Yeah, we've already got that in other competitions.
Yeah. So I think they're, in that sense, they've definitely got it right.
Yep, absolutely.
Nice to have short. Yes, indeed.
Why is Kingston's tail so small? What's he done? Oh no! Kingston's lagged out! Come on! So many tech problems today. He got so excited he kicked his Ethernet cable out, viewers. Kingston! Whoa. I don't know. Oh, he's back!
No,
he's back!
He's back!
He plugged it back in, viewers. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I had the blood pressure going there. I saw his tail and I thought, uh-oh, what's he done? He's gone again. He's gone again. His tail's gone. Yeah. Kingston, stop that download. Stop downloading those Netflix movies.
Oh, tell your mum to get off the
right. That is just frustrating for everyone to see. But hopefully he was listening to the stream earlier, which he obviously wasn't. But if he was, he'll know he can get back in if he's quick. So hurry up. Dobber, play for time. Put a couple of twizz a couple of missiles out, run back to the edge of the ring.
Or kill the two in front of you. TWS them both one time.
It's such a shame, viewers, because no one wants to see that.
It's nature of the beast, unfortunately. It's so horrible. There's Kingston gone. Unfortunately.
You can have a million matches, a million practices, viewers, on multiplayer. Nothing ever goes wrong. Put a proper competition in where it matters. My computer crashes 10 times. Kingston's crashes. It's just... I believe we call it Sod's Law. Right. Anyway, Dobber is going to have to do the undoable, basically. 43 miles and a missile out from Raven at 41,000 feet. Come on, Dobber. Twizz, twizz, twizz. Get a couple of missiles out.
So, there is AWACS. I'm fairly certain that no escape zone would have picked up that one of them has dropped off. Maybe there's a ghost contact. But Dobber now needs to play it very, very seriously. TWS on both of them. They're not separated enough to be outside of gimbal, but Dobber opts for one, which is probably a good thing with the limited number of missiles that he's got.
Yep.
It is still possible, of course,
Unless you
match.
Unless you fire at the same time on both of them, Bear, I don't think this is possible. I don't think this is geometrically possible. I think you've got to be able to send both cold at one time. Otherwise, they're just going to always have a man aggressing.
Yes,
that said, they don't know if they've been fired on necessarily or haven't been fired on.
Exactly. Because they're both now in a crank with Dobber turning cold. Dobber needs to be careful of this missile. He's outrun it. He should be fine.
Oh, it's so dangerous dodging missiles at 30,000 feet.
Is he fine?
So dangerous doing this. Gotta go low to dodge missiles. Don't do it, Dobber. Dump your tanks. Jesus, that was close and risky thing to do. Dodging a missile at 40,000 feet.
In formation with it. But what he has done well is he's maintained his altitude.
Yeah.
Phoenix and who's it, Raven? I think we can term them the Siamese twins because it's like they're joined at the hip.
Amazingly,
everything you can do, I can do.
Amazingly, they both went cold for the same missile, but again, there may have been confusion. Plus, they may have both been in the radiation basket of the missile and got the beep. So who knows, right? Right. Well, Dobber's drawing even so far, and he's got a missile out before NOEZ could. So he's technically the aggressor right now. Again, here's why you should never be close together, viewers. You're both in the basket for the missile, so you both get a freaking warning.
Exactly.
It's such a dangerous thing to do.
Alright, so a slow missile from the lower pilot out on Dobber.
It's not going to be much
Dobber
good.
in the crank already. But he does have the altitude.
That missile won't affect Dobber because it was fired so low down, but Dobber's is pretty good. It was fired high and fast, so 1,100 knots. No, they've dodged it. Right, here, finally, Reds have got their stuff together and Fenix is pushed.
There we go.
But Dobber's got a missile back. Right, 2 fast missiles. These could easily trouble each other. What can Dobber do? Let me check if Kingston's not back, and he's not.
That would have been Dobber's second last missile.
Really?
He's got one more Fox 3.
Roger.
And it's cold. So Dobber's going to have to play smart now.
Yes, he
He's got
is.
sufficient missiles to kill the players, but he's got to do it in an interesting way.
Okay. Everything nullified. Raven back in the game. Alright, let's double check his missiles. So he's got... Right. 1 AMRAAM. Yeah, 1 AMRAAM. And 2 Dogfight missiles. And the Reds should have theoretically about twice that number of... Yeah, they've got lots. If I was Red now, I would just be pumping missiles in. And there is a missile.
Dobber needs to drop his bags. I'm sure they're empty by now.
Yeah, that's... that was... I noticed that. It's a bit weird, trying to evade these missiles with these huge tanks on, viewers. Creating a huge amount of drag. Slowing the plane right down. There's a missile coming again, but it was fired low again, so it's basically a hopeless missile. scrubbed right down to 600 knots before it could do anything. But, oh, both Reds, again, hand in hand. But they're both going to get the warning for the missile because they're both in the basket.
Yeah, double firing at 10 miles. 10 miles in the past used to be a kill shot, but nowadays we need to be closer, 5 to 7 miles. And that was his last AMRAAM on a cold target.
So now he's got to get them into a dogfight somehow, which, looking at this terrain, is impossible because he's in the flatlands. Plus, he may get hit by this missile anyway. 700 knots. Where is he? Where is he? They beat them all, but what's he going to do now? Not a great deal, because he's out in the flatlands with no cover, and he's only got 2 heat-seeking missiles, and he's still lugging around those bags. I'm surprised Kingston's not shouting at him, dump, dump, dump. Right, here we go. The finale, 9 miles, and Raven's gone cold. That, sir, is an error. What happened? Should have finished him off right there.
Oh,
he doesn't have any missiles. Doesn't have any missiles. It's down to heaters too. Right, Dobber's going to push. Ooh, could this be an amazing 1-2 with Fox 2 missiles? 7 miles. Still, the Reds holding hands. Never seen that before, Bear, ever. And I've seen a lot of matches. Fox 2.
Interesting.
Oh, one of them had an AMRAAM. Oh, the AMRAAM's going to win, obviously. Dobber's dead.
Pop. And Dobber is dead. Okay, so No Escape Zone do bring it back to win the second round. Score is 1-1, and that takes us, of course, you guessed it, into a third round.
Welcome back, viewers. Last round of today. We have NOEZ on the blue in the west, and we have TMC on the reds on the east. And I just hope there's no more technical problems, because no one wants to see that. We want to see a lovely 2v2 match. Nice fair match. Oh, that set, Dobber did really well. If you've wondered why he could not drop his, or did not drop his fuel tanks, we spoke to them and he couldn't drop them for some reason. Problem with the fuel tank, so there you go. Right, so we have NOEZ in their what's become trademark twin crank thing that I've never seen before. And the
Siamese twins.
The Siamese twins, and the Reds doing their usual 15-mile split or whatever.
In real life, we had a person come and talk to us about different techniques and tactics and things like that. And essentially, flying very close like that is called res selling, where you're trying to make it difficult for the other team to lock them up.
In real life, is that or in DCS?
In real life, and obviously it applies to in DCS. Mm-hmm. Probably more effective in real life than in DCS. Mm-hmm. What they could do is stagger the altitude a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. It definitely can prove to be an effective technique, especially with the F-15E with its godlike radar where you can see it from across the map. That can cause some confusion. It is one of the ways we got to try and defend against an F-15E if they're present. It's clever. I mean, they've adopted their strategy. They've practiced their strategy. It's stressful flying in close formation, especially in a hostile environment like this. Makes it hard for Kingston and Dobber to sort. But when they get close enough, they should be able to escape the two. Or sort the two different ones.
40 miles.
Now there's a split.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So they're choosing to go for the terrain to the north.
Yes.
Instead of the valley. First missile out from.
Yeah. So a much bigger split than we've seen previously, unless I've just missed it last time.
Raven.
Kingston firing at 30 miles.
And Raven starting to crank left while Phoenix now comes in. So good communication is obviously happening between the two pilots. Mm-hmm. Again, Kingston and Dobber doing the same as what they did in the first round with the crossing over. Yeah. Long shot up from Dobber, probably on Phoenix.
Kingston's absolutely ploughing along at Angels 35 with a missile really hot in tow. 1,200 knots, 1,100 knots. Oh, God, my blood pressure can't take these dodges. They're so close, so close. I mean, it's so important to keep your altitude, but it's also so important to stay alive.
Indeed, indeed. You need the missiles. Difficult to win without the missiles.
1,200
Missile
knots.
coming into Phoenix. He may have enough to get away from that.
Yeah.
But it is going to be close. It is certainly going to be close.
Well done. Oh, jeez, that's closer than I like it.
Indeed. Wow.
Well done. Right. All nullified. Finally, a proper 2v2 match. No weird stuff happening. Right. Interestingly, Blues are aggressing. Blues are aggressing.
Yes, they noticed that both TMC were cold, and when they're cold, attack. You definitely want to attack when they're cold.
And they're immediately going to send them defensive again. So there's a 100% initiative advantage from NOEZ here. Can Fenix get a missile? Fenix needs a missile on Kingston to send him cold. Okay, Dobber's managed to get a missile on Fenix. That's going to neutralize Fenix. Yep, I think this. Yep, this happened. 35,000 feet altitudes, 35, 31, 26 and 17. Blues don't seem to be as good, at least this round, as maintaining their altitude, or at least recovering their altitude as quickly. So I guess that shows how important it is to keep that altitude for the big, long kill shots.
It is. Phoenix probably got the missile warning now. He's defending, so he should be safe. That missile seems slow.
1,300 knots, 1,200, yep.
Yeah. All right, Kingston and Raven trading missiles, not deaths.
Okay, the initiative has passed to the Reds pretty much here. Dobber's now hot, chasing Phoenix.
They're cold now. TMC need to push. TMC need to push really, really hard.
Careful, Kingston. I should say, viewers, it's in case you're new, the pilots don't see the missiles like we see them. They don't really know where these missiles are. It's only us in Gold View that see them. Yeah.
Alright, Kingston defensive.
Well done. And keep his altitude.
Where he's got a missile on him. It's a trader missiles. Dobber's missile seems a little bit faster than Phoenix's, but Phoenix is cold. Oh, Phoenix changes his mind and decides to opt for a notch. No, he's decided to go cold.
Oh, but he's chewed up time. He's chewed up precious time. 1,100 knots.
Could be
1,000 knots. 800 knots.
He's climbing.
700 knots. Oh, Jesus. That was amazingly close.
That wing rock was suspicious, but what can we do?
Yeah. It's not over till the large lady sings, so we're still going. It's literally anyone's game. Kingston's got speed and altitude. Can he capitalise? If you want to know how fast they're going, viewers, look at the length of their tail, their pointer. It just tells you how fast they are at a glance. Right, but he didn't get his missile out in time, and he's now going to be postured cold by this missile here, pretty much straight away.
Kingston has to defend.
Now he's pushed it too far. I think he's pushed it too far. Or has he? Oh, it's going to be a close one, viewers.
Split S.
He's done it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Gee, yeah, well done.
Driven it into the ground.
That's missile on Dobber's exchange. What a fight this is.
Unbelievable.
This really
good.
Everyone's flying at maximum now, viewers. Right to the edge. Now, Phoenix has beat his, but he's also stayed hot. He may be able to push and get Dobber here. Maybe. Now, what's happened to Kingston? Kingston's back. Beautiful chainsaws going on here.
Indeed. They're working together nicely, but it comes down to attrition. What does Kingston have? Kingston has one
missile
left. Right, Raven has no Fox 3s left, nor does Dobber.
Well,
so
that puts Raven in a world of...
Yeah,
so Raven is no longer tactically useful in terms of the medium range, but neither is Dobber, though. Right, okay. So it is even Steven right now.
There's two Fox 3s left in the game, one on Kingston's and one
Not
on
anymore.
Phoenix.
All Fox 3s now fired. No, an AIM 9 and a Fox 3. Those AIM 9s can be absolutely killer. Remember, F-16 doesn't have a missile warning system, so Kingston won't know it's been shot. But good shot from Kingston, and all the last Fox 3s have been fired. Phoenix, I think, is going to beat his. Yep, 900 knots. And Kingston's line of sight his. It's a dogfight end. It's a dogfight end for the night. Ooh. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Can these boys Put on a fight.
Who's a better pilot? We're about to see. Well, Kingston's leading. Kingston's managed to sneak the initiative to Dobber by leading Raven away, and Dobber, through his data link and communication, is going. Can he find him though? Visually, he's got to find him. Yes, he can.
He's on the data link.
Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
And I hope they're flaring.
I hope they're flaring a barrel rolling. Didn't see it. Kingston out. But Dobber's almost certainly going to avenge it. Is he going to trap the right guy? Is he going to trap the right guy? Is he going to trap the right guy? Ah! 1v1.
Flash,
oh,
1v1.
My goodness gracious me.
Phoenix now versus Dobber.
One missile.
Phoenix in the driver's seat.
No, one missile versus two missiles. It may make a difference. Also, Phoenix has the initiative. He's coming in at speed. That's it. 7 miles. Everyone knows. Everyone has data link here, so they know whichever. It's one missile out, and he can afford to use that. Dobber won't know it's been fired.
Dobber better flare.
Flare and barrel. Flare and barrel. Did it. Well done. Missile rejected. But what happens with this aim-9? And it's going to guns. If this misses, line of sighted. It's now Dobber, gun, Phoenix, cold, no initiative, and one missile. Ooh-wee. This is the kind of thing that Thrustmaster wanted. Big, fat dogfight. Now, because they've been at low for so long, fuel is going to be an issue. This plane does not carry a vast amount of fuel, and it's a very powerful engine.
I'm just so happy to see Dobber with no fuel bags on.
Yeah.
And Dobber is certainly aware of where Phoenix is. Phoenix is turning. This is going to be dangerous. You need to protect yourself. Merge coming up.
Oh, has Phoenix lost sight? Has he lost sight? Oh, that's a gun solution. That was close. Dobber has somehow given us away as 6. And he's about to have a missile link bound. I think Hemix is on.
They do cap, yes.
Air brake out. Don't leave the air brake out. Oh, what a fitting end this is, viewers. What a fitting end. Mano and Mano. Well, human versus human.
Could not have scripted this.
You could not have scripted this. This is nice. Oh, what's that guy doing? What's he done? He's out of fuel.
Is he out of fuel?
He must be out of fuel. He's out of fuel.
Dobber's lost eyes.
He's out of fuel.
Lost sight.
It's falling out. He's about to die. He's about to die. Wow. Who would have thought fuel would be the... Wow, there was me saying that fuel doesn't really matter on these small fights because they don't last long enough, and, well, there's me wrong, as basically always. Well done, Dobber. As long as he doesn't fall out of the sky for the next 20 seconds and do anything weird, then we're all right.
Unbelievable.
What a fight.
It would have been really, really nice to see some shells being put into another aircraft. In either way, but there we go. So fuel does become an element in this game. Well done to TMC. Well done to NOEZ. If this was your first competition, I think you did exceptionally well.
They did really well. They did really well. Yeah.
Just a recap of today's matches. The first match we had was Tor versus Lock on Greece. Tor won that 2-0. Doc from Lock on Greece having the unfortunate disconnect in the second round, but a smashing play by Raccoon there. Well done to Tor for winning that one 2-0. And in the second game, this game that's just finished with no escape zone from France and possibly Belgium versus the Motley Crew, Kingston and Dobber managed to just edge it out there 2 rounds to 1. Kingston having that unfortunate disconnect in the second round. NOEZ winning the second round with 2 surviving pilots, so an excellent round from them. And the last round determined by fuel, unfortunately not shells, but tomorrow is another day. Cap, thank you. It's been wonderful being with you. Thank you to the Thrustmaster, JTF for hosting. And that's it for me.
Roger.
Bear signing off.
Thank you, Bear. And everyone, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.